What up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here 20 seconds later with another podcast video. And this time for AEW Rampage. And then we're going to be talking about what exactly just went down on AEW Rampage tonight, like minutes after SmackDown went off the air, and nothing out of the ordinary, just a very generic, typical episode of AEW Rampage in the middle of the month. Well, it's actually like the first. I guess was it the first? No, the second Rampage of the month. So it's sort of the middle, I guess you could say. But anyways, yeah. But this is where things started off with no delay, and that was Hikaru Shida, which when I was saying, well, when the last time we saw this girl in AEW programming, but she took on Viva Van. This was a pretty solid match. Like, even though I would give this match, I'll give it like the silver trophy of the night. But this is where we got Hikaru Shida going for a headlock onto Viva. But this is where Viva throws Hikaru right into the bottom corner side ropes. Shoulder tackles her, but this is where Viva Van's like, don't underestimate me. Like, I'm not no rag doll. This is where then we got Hikaru Shida. Oh yeah, prove it. This is where she like tackle me like I was trying to do to you. But this time you go to the left side. Is where she tried to try to tip. But this is where Hikaru Shida shot her. It's like you can't take me down. This is where you got Viva Van and kicks Hikaru right in the midsection. This is where she tried to go over a headlock. But this is where the female ninja didn't try to go for a back-to-back maneuver. She instantly gets elbowed right into the midsection by Viva. But this is where she then goes for a wrist hammerlock. This is where we got. That's where we got go for a double German suplex. But this is where we got. But that's where we both women try to go for a waistlock maneuvers until Hikaru Shida got the offense in until once both women got on the outside. However, this is where she gets attacked by Viva Van. This is where she grabbed a handful of Hikaru's head. This is where she hits her face first right onto the middle of the ring. This is where she has the right hand right to the back of her head. This is where we got Hikaru Shida go for a rolling flip, and then Viva Van Dar going a little shimmy, taunting Hikaru Shida, which I thought that was Mina Shirakawa that does that. But this is where we got Hikaru Shida hits a right forearm strike right to the midsection. This is where we got Shida then continue to hit some right hands. This is where we got Viva Van trying to stop her by kicking her right in the midsection. This is where she tried to run right to the right side. She ends up getting intercepted. She gets got caught off guard by Shida with a German suplex, but she ends up getting elbow strike by Shida. This is where she ducks out of the way for a third attempt. This is where she goes for a forearm strike right with her right arm, but this is where we got Viva Van to get the right arm right to her face. This is where Hikaru Shida try to fight right back. And Viva Van waiting for her to hit some strikes right back in her with these swinging exchange. This is where we got Viva Van then hits a forearm strike right into Shida. This is where Shida screams. This is where then we got Shida then hits some right forearm strikes repeatedly right into the face onto Viva. This is where she's like, I got you now. And I'm like, now I get to try to go for her again. But this is where she gets grabbed right in the back of her head. This is where we got Shida try to go for a right hand. But this is where we got what's her name? That's where Viva Van throws Hikaru Shida right to the top corner side, but she springboards off the turnbuckles, hits the middle drop kick. That's where face onto Shida. This is where we got Viva then try to pick up Hikaru right into the middle of the ring. Looked like about his version of a one-winged angel, but that turned into an inside cradle by Shida. This is where that ended up not working. 2.7 count is where we got. That's where we got Hikaru Shida was getting ready to hit another maneuver, which she was prepared for. This is where we got Viva Van trying to attack her, however, but we got Hikaru Shida blocking her pass. Is where we got the ninja then goes for a right strike kick. This is where a thrust kick. Then she did like a Firestone Holy Spirit, hoping that she did not harm her or opponent. While she did the Falcon Arrow, that's how she ended the match. in a very satisfying moment, like in a satisfying manner, and that was none other than Hikaru Shida picking up the victory. Huge congratulations and a humongous comeback because when was the last time we saw her? Which I might know when was the last time we seen her, but she was in a losing effort. But I'm not sure. Even though we're talking about AEW, I'm not sure if I should be even mentioning about this match, let alone who she lost to, which we're gonna probably move on to. But that's and this is where we got this is where we got Renee Paquette then wouldn't stop saying like you've been a lot for the last few weeks by explaining getting into details like a little bit, which I was like really like you're gonna be talking about I'm talking about and whatnot, like with her being all over the place. Like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Like it all started when I was teaming with the QT Marshall and her group before they got distinct and went their separate ways. And again, yeah, that's where I found like the Outcast by joining Soraya when everybody else was leaving her side. But guess what? I've stayed by her side through thick and thin. And like even when she was trying to have a moment in her home country at Wembley this past August, like at AEW All In, like, but guess what? Who stole that with chance away? And there was none. You guessed it. It was what's her name, Jamie Hayter, and she closed on my head off, and then I also been thrown by tables like that have little spikes on them, and then this where and and it and this is where then and this is where then she also pointed out that she also nearly broke up a couple, which I wonder who she was referring to. Which why don't you ask the new proud parents Angelo and Ruby that question? But this is where we got Hikaru Shida was continues to like. And that's where that she was like, yeah, like I've been insulted by first it was like from what's her name from Jamie Hayter to another British person, like in the 70s and vintage clothing, like the way, all right, and this was and I got thrown right through a table with teeny tiny little cuts. By the way, that's what you said, not surprised. And it just like, and I got encountered by Anna J's fat self, and no, I don't mean that in a what's he like, not in an erotic way, like, but I was like, yeah, like, and even like, yeah, like, but like the thing is, like, she's nowhere fat, like. I don't see no type of fatness. Like she's completely skinny and thin. If I'm not being insulting, but this is where we got like and this is what I get. And then I got hit right in the north and then right in the south. And then I celebrate the day of the dead. I guess the stack. I got try to sacrifice the Empire Thunder Rosa, like in the in the in the like in the AEW right out of here. So like, but that unfortunately did not went well. And then she was like, and again, what? And this is where this was like, and what does the future hold with Harley Cameron? But this is where Renee Paquette then try to respectfully say that we're running out of time, but she still had the sound of like a little bit. I'll say, what's that like assertive? Like you know what I mean? Like saying like she's out of time for this interview, and you need to move on and go to go to the next. I go to the next match, which it features like into the Fatal 4-Way Tag match, which was the Dark Order's Alex Reynolds and John Silver, I believe, like along with Shane Taylor Promotion. That's where we got the new. That's where we got the new members of the new Shane Taylor Promotions, and that is the Infantry's Carly Bravo and Sean Dean. That's a Sean Dean. Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, Sean Dean. And also, yeah, Trisha Dora was there with them. Like with them, I guess they turned heel, and now they're a heel faction with Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. But yeah, next up we got also have the Matt Taven and Mike Bennett in this. That's a Fatal 4-Way. I mean, triple tag team match, which I'm not sure what this was for, but this is where it start things off with Mike Bennett and what's his name? what's that? Carly Bravo, like from the infantry. That's where this is where he starts rimming him right into the shoulder. This is where he then snap measures him right in the corner until he gets tripped right over by what's his name, Sean Dean. This is where he gets jawbreakered by Matt Tatum, more likely rib breaker by Sean Dean, while Carly Bravo did hit the springboard knees right to the back, saying like. That's where then he was like, "There's nobody better than us around here in the tag team division, the infantry." And then this is where then they continue to start doing their double team onto Mike Bennett. This is where we got what's his name? Carly Bravo got what's his name? Got Mike Bennett into a headlock until he got out of it. This is where then he tried to hit some strikes on him to get himself free. He tried to go for a clothesline, but what's his name? Carly Bravo ducks out of the way. This is where then he hits a forearm strike right into the face on the Matt Taven. This is where he's like, your ass is not going to get tagged in. This is where then Mike Ben's like, oh, you want to bet? This is where then he double a spine busters Carly Bravo. Both men were down to the ground. This is where we got until John Silver got that tag in. He was like, since I can't tag in my partner, what's his name at the moment? Matt Taven, he's going to tag in John Silver. This is where then John Silver started making a comeback like on the favor of onto the Undisputed Kingdom, but for themselves as well as the Dark Order that they're representing until he tags in Alex Reynolds. That's where we got That's where we got Matt Taven then got tagged in. I'm not sure who it was. I'm not sure if it was from the infantry or the Dark Order. I think it was, he tagged in Carly Bravo. This is where he hits a very impressive step up in Sagiri, which is what made me like the Undisputed Kingdom again. This is where we got Matt Taven and go up right up on the top rope onto the bottom right side, or not, like left side actually. That's where Aubrey was like, what are you doing up there? Like, get back down from there. That's where he didn't listen to a moonsault, like, or did he listen? Because he got off of it, but not the way that Aubrey was wanted him to. And this is where he landed on the infantry's Sean Dean and Carly Bravo and what's his name, Alex Reynolds. This is where he pat. This is where he threw Carly Bravo in, and I made a huge blunder. And I said it was him that tagged him in, but it must have been Alex Reynolds. This is where he nearly got the win by diving on him. But this is where we got Sean Dean, Carly Bravo's teammate, that came in for the help and pushes Matt Taven right off the top rope. And that's where then he collects the Undisputed Kingdom member. That's where they try to go for the Russian leg sweep. Boot to the face, double team maneuver. But that's where before what's the name? Carly Bravo even got a chance to do it. He gets tagged in by Alex Reynolds. This is where he does our flex like but that's where this is where he ends up getting once he gets back turned around when Alex Reynolds and John Silver was there. They did a flapjack European uppercut double team combo. That's where we got. This is where we got. That's where Sean Dean did a running knee lift right onto Alex Reynolds, because he had some very bad rib issues after Marina Shafir attacked him. This is where we got that was my boy Mike Bennett. This is where he hits my finishing maneuver, which is the most dominating move in all of pro wrestling, and that is the Assassin Valley Driver, which he would call generically the Death Valley Driver. This is where then we got. And this is where we got what's his name? But this is where we got Matt Taven then pushes Mike Bennett outside the ring into the right side. This is where we got Matt Taven to wait for waiting for Alex Reynolds to move, getting into the turnbuckle core. We try to splash him right on top of him, but this is where we got Alex Reynolds out of the way. Smart move from the Dark Order member. While John Silver hits an insecurity kick. This is where we got what's his name? He tried to throw Matt Taven right into Alex Reynolds. This is where he ends up intercepting them and go for a schoolboy onto what's his name? Alex Reynolds. While Mike Bennett grabbed onto John Silver's leg, drag him on the outside. This is where we got what's the name? Alex Reynolds go for a boot. This is where we got. But this is where he ends. This is where he also hits a pop-up knee strike right onto Matt Taven. This is where we saw. Alex Reynolds like painful, but like this is all working on for me. This is where he ends up getting pop-up forearm strike by both Matt and Mike. This is where then both the Undisputed Kingdom members go for this that back super turned into like a what they call like a that powerbomb zigzag maneuver. But to Alex Reynolds, this is where they got the 1-2-3 winner of this match. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett of the Undisputed Kingdom. This is where we got them celebrating, but this is where their celebration came to an end like a minute later. This is where Brian Cage came out. And normally he would come out with Lance Archer, but he didn't came out on the stage with him at this time. But it was all just an elaborate trick because just to get their attention and distract them like in the front because like they did not know like who was going to come from behind, and it ended up being Lance Archer double tagging both members of the Undisputed from behind. This is where he took him out one by one, and this is where we got Brian Cage that came out. Power bombs of Mike Bennett, along with Lance Archer going for a choke slam kind of combination, like if Batista and The Undertaker would have come up with. But surprisingly, they haven't did some kind of maneuvers like with them being in tag team matches against common enemies, like with the likes of Mark Henry, the Great Khali, and other opponents like back in their time in wrestling. But this is where we got Roderick Strong. Didn't say like that was completely dirty. This is where we got Roderick Strong sending the message to Lance Archer and Brian Cage with Lexi Nair asking them some questions and his reactions of them being assaulted with his teammates Matt and Mike being assaulted by those two big monsters of the Don Callis family. This is where we got Roderick Strong's like, oh, it's you, Jake Roberts, like with him or Jake the Snake Roberts, which this time, like when he shouted his name, it sounded pretty hilariously and entertainingly awesome. Like with him finally having his cool edge back. I didn't mean Adam Copeland because he's still injured, like from that match against Malachi Black at AEW Double or Nothing when he did that flying crossbody splash table spot while off the top of the steel cage. But this where then Roderick Strong was like, I was just talking about your former client, Lance Archer, and this is where then Jake the Snake Roberts like, yeah, I see that, like, yeah, like former is correct, like he's like no, let's not talk about Lance right now. Let's talk about a guy that you've been really looking for, and that is my new client, Beast Mortos, and this is what. It is where Jake the Snake Roberts try to warn and heed Roderick Strong by telling him to back up, and this is where then Roderick Strong like he's my boy, and this is where then Jake the Snake Roberts like, no, he's not your boy, like he's. It was like, and then for your information, Mr. Roddy, like he has a very important match that's coming up next, like with the Acclaim, like. And you're messing things up. Like you're being completely foolish on what you're like. You're trying to take away all the killer instincts and the true killer that he truly is. And he's like, and if you kick back yourself up, like why don't I go have the beast bag you up like for me? And this way, Rod Strong's like I said, like what if you agree with me or not? The beast is my boy, like. But you want him to try? Like, I need to get another win. Like, so how about we do another do an AEW Collision tomorrow? And that's where I take this thing around. Like, okay, like fine with me. Like, but I don't know. I haven't seen so much of a fool that you. I haven't seen nobody that's such a fool as you are, Roddy. And this is where I was like, he used to be one, but now he's much more like a better version of himself because not just shouting this to anybody out of nowhere. Like he's only doing it to those that deserve it. Like which he needs to do the same with his wife, Marina Shafir. And then this is where I can have her train back into her normal self rather than being brainwashed with John Moxley's toxic poison mind control in Cincinnati water that he made her drink. And hopefully you have that clean Tampa ocean water that he has her drink out of to get her back to normal. But anyways, moving on, we got this is where we got This is where we got what's her name? Deanna a vignette like in town with Deanna Purrazzo and what's her name? Taya Valkyrie, with her telling the story about she got an eye for an eye from an enemy. But about a story about a girl breaking her arm, like so she broke both of hers, and I was like, sheesh, like I mean, like I heard about justice, but I think this is way too much. Like this is double. This is going a double step too far, I guess you could say. But hey, this is the story she was telling. This is where she's like, that's retribution. And I was like, it was like, what? I understand, like you're trying to get some even justice, like, but I can rest the retribution, but I think that's way too much retribution for any man or woman that's trying to get some revenge or justice on against their arch nemesis. Like, and maybe she needs to seek some psychiatric therapy, like just a like a general curious offer. Like, I'm not sure if there's no such thing as a curious offer. Just some kind of a general offer. I'm just giving, just general, like of course. But this is where them. This is where it's like, and this is where she told a story about her ex-boyfriend that broke her heart. So she broke his tires like by ripping it with a knife, and like, and there's like that all revenge. Like, they could be immensely satisfying to collect where. And like sometimes that's not enough. Like sometimes it's about more, like than simple crazy. Like it's all about like sending a message, like and not just to the targets of the rap, like, but they may not be around for long. Like, but everyone else, like, unless you're prepared to for the vendetta, like the vendettas, like in your lives, like who to avoid. And this is where then we got Taya Valkyrie then finish off like enter to this promo saying like, and if you're trying to send a message their own, like, and you need a little help, well, you know where to find us. And this is where they did a little cheer, show them sit right back down. That's where we got the next tag team match, which it's Top Flight taking on taking on JD Drake and Beef, and what's her name that was standing in ringside with the Martin brothers, Top Flight, Layla Gray, like she looked like a CEO twin to a pillow twin, because she got some like a pillow curly hair, fluffy hair, like with wearing some clothes that Willow the Pillow will wear. Which I wouldn't be surprised, like if she keeps this up, she's gonna get some identical comparisons with the former TBS champion. But anyways, this is where we got. This is where we got things start off with Darius Martin against Beef. This is where it goes for like a headlock, but this is where it ends up turning to the belly waist lock maneuver, because this is where we got what's his name. This is where we got what's his name? Beef to try to Irish whip him right to the left side, but once he got him in the back of the belly maneuver, he tried to hold on to the ropes and then and let go and try to go for like a roll up pin. But this is where we got. But that's where we got what's his name. This is where he goes for a wrist lock on the Beef. This is where he tags in Darius Martin. This is where he goes for a double foot stomp. This is where he runs right into the. This is where he then runs right into. This is where Dante Martin then go for a wrist lock. This is where we got what's his name. Darius Martin then runs leaping right over him, running through the bottom corner ropes, going to stomp right into the left arm. And this is where we got Dante Martin continuing to mess up that left arm of Beef. This is where he tries to Irish whip him to the right side, but this is where he goes for a slide duck. But it's where it went and go for a leapfrog. He then dodges out of the clothesline. It's like, here's where Beef was like, you think I was not going to get out of this agility work from you, Dante? Like, you were very impressive, but I'm more greater than you. And he's like, and I'm going to prove that by sending you right into the corner, into the bottom right side, is where he did so, while also clotheslining him, and then send him right into the bottom side, like when he gets clotheslined by JD Drake when he tags him in. And this is where he springboards sentons him right into the ring. That's where then he This is where once he try to go for a pin, he immediately gets denied by a 2.1 count. This is where then we try to go for a clothesline onto Dante Martin. This is where he ducks out the clothesline. This is where he goes for a double foot stomp into a back foot. This is where he got. This is where everybody started clapping, including Layla Gray. That's teaming with Top Flight. This is where we got Dante Martin run to the left side. This is where we got. This is where we got what's his name. Jay Drake go for a pop up, but this is where ends up getting hit with a flying. He gets hit with a flying headset by Dante. This is where he's in the right to the left side. He gets instantly drop kicked. This is where then we got Dante Martin and going right up into a sliding clothesline, like if he's his own version of the Miz when he tags in his big brother Darius Martin. This is where he tried to go for a suplex. But this is where we got what's his name? Dante Martin didn't help out his brother Darius. That was having trouble trying to suplex JD Drake. This is where JD Drake knew he got the suplex onto Darius, but Dante being the very good and cool little brother of Darius, this is where he flips him over. This is where he gets the suplex of his own. This is where he tags in the. And then he tags back in Dante, like and pointing out and showing the referee that they did legally get tagged in. But the referee clapped like, okay, like legal man in. This is where he hits the springboard. What's they call it? Senton. This is where he tried to go for a pin. But J.D. Drake kicked out at one even. This is where we got tagging by. This is where he go for a double stretch. He so gets super kicked. This is where we got. That's where we got what's his name? The Darius brothers got the offensive advantage for at the moment until in the middle of the picture-in-picture break. That's where tables have turned with Darius Martin. No, not Darius. Dante Martin was taking all the beatings during this match, like against the one half of the Workhorsemen, while the other's the honorary member. But until we got Dante Martin manages the counter out of, I believe, was Beef's maneuver, like that he was trying to go with, but this is where he instantly gets knee strike right to the face, just like Roderick Strong, which is I believe is the second most best wrestler to do this maneuver, by the way, next to Strong in AEW. But this is where he instantly tagged in his big brother Darius. This is where we got. What's his name? Dante gets popped up by his brother Darius. This is where then they both. This is where we got. Darius go for a leg. Dante Martin go for a leg sweep right onto the legs of Beef, while Dante goes for a DDT. They get the 1, 2, 3 that way. Winner of this match, Top Flight, with Private Party backstage watching on the monitor, holding their newly won AEW Tag Team Champions over a week ago, which I believe that was 9 days ago to be exact. But that's where we got Dante and Darius Martin showed some good sportsmanship by handshaking their opponents tonight on this Rampage show. That's where they showed some respect. And with them saying, like, you put one heck of a fight, and they hope for them the best in their future in AEW until they got quickly interrupted by Lio Rush. And it was minutes before he was supposed to come out there for his match against Commander. Like, even though this match definitely gets the Gold Trophy Award, like, same with Lio Rush versus Commander with a K. And whoever told him to do a part 2 of this match on Rampage was a creative genius, basically, is the word to put it. Like, whether it was Anthony Khan or a certain producer that said, like, they would put put a continuous spark onto this match, which they were not lying. Like, with them doing flippy doodah maneuvers is where we got Commander with a K sent Lio Rush right into the bottom left side. By spinning right in the midsection, start going for a forearm strike. That's where then he goes for grabbing onto Lio Rush's hand. That's where then he try to go for a springboard right off the top rope. But this is where Lio Rush stops him before he even goes for that maneuver. This is where they go for a back suplex right onto the luchador that couldn't even spell the actual name Commander. And this is where he tried to go for a pin, but Commander with a K kicked out of it. This is where then he rolls right into the bottom corner of the ropes. This is where we got That's where we got Leo Rush and dive onto him. That's where they were on the left side. Then is where Leo Rush tried to go to the left corner side apron. He instantly super kicks Commander. That's where we got him trying to go for a springboard moonsault, which he managed to successfully do onto the luchador. That's where then he's continuing to do more beatings onto what's his name, Commander. Yeah, it is Commander. This is where he hits a back suplex onto him on the hardest part of the ring, which is the ring apron on the left side. Like if he was his own version of the Viper himself over in the other company that just got pile driver by a crazy psychotic prize fighter. But this is where we got. This is where Commander would K once they got back in the ring. This is where they could. This is where they can. This is where they can. This is where they. This is where I. Right after Commander K get a springboard arm drag, ducks into a clothesline, and he goes for a waist slam. This is where we got Commander K try to go for a pin, but this is where Leo Rush kicks out at 2.1. This is where he then hits a moonsault. This is where then we got. This is where we got Commander K going right in the middle ropes. But this is where we got. Right where we got him try to go. Where you start doing a double stomp to try to go for a splash, but this is where we got Leo Rush then grab onto the leg. This is where he tried to go for a dragon screw, but this is where we got Commander with a K go for a step up Insigiri. This is where the Commander with a K going up right up on the top rope in the bottom left side. But it's where I'm trying to go for a springboard moonsault, but this is where we got Leo Rush moving out of the way. This is where then we try to go jump right up. This is where the Leo Rush then try to go for a kick, but he gets stopped. We got kicked right in the head. This is where he nearly got backstabbed by Commander, but this is where we got Leo Rush smartly hanging onto the ropes with him. He landed on his own back or hard right into that concrete floor. This is where we got Leo Rush, then got back in the ring, goes for a springboard flip right onto the left side. This is where he goes for a suicide dive right to the left, or like what everybody likes to call it on AEW, the suicida, actually. This is where then we got this is where Leo Rush then I believe hit a blue thunder bomb, which I believe he must have argued with Simon Miller with, like when once he hit him with that, it was a blue thunder bomb, which that's something that's very unusual, like from what's his name, Leo Rush though. But he must have seen what exactly the other wrestlers were talking about with the likes of Sami Zayn and Chris Statlander and Konosuke Takeshita, I'm actually seeing the complete opposite what they're seeing with me seeing like perhaps Simon Miller is right about the blue thunder bomb, because it seemed like it is the least most devastating move in all of pro wrestling, and I'm not sure what was the point of it, if it's not going to be his new signature or finisher that's going to actually put away his opponents. But unfortunately, like when he tried to go for a pin with this Blue Thunder, that's where got Commander with a K kicks out of it at 2.7, when Leo Rush was shouting like, "It is going to work, you bald a-hole." Like, and I might pay a visit at Progress to take that Proteus championship, but I don't think that's going to happen because, one, I don't think AEW would want him to be that championship at this time. And secondly, Simon Miller is going to probably pull off some kind of an upset, a shocking upset, that's going to be all over the wrestling news on all over the IWC. But yeah, that's a different story for a different day, which I hope that does happen for dream match purposes. But that's where Leo Rush goes up right up on the top rope in the bottom left side. That's where then he tried to go for like then he tried to go for like some kind of a man of the hour frog splash, but this is where Commander with a K smartly roll out into the way. This is where we got Leo Rush was very frustrated about it. Is where he's like, no matter, like I could just do this running maneuver over on the up to him onto the upper right side, but he ends up getting intercepted and caught by Commander, but he ends up getting re-intercepted when Leo Rush picks him right up, hits him with an F5 right into the middle of the ring. Leo Rush try to go for a cover. That's where the referee counted 1, referee counted 2, but Commander get the right shoulder up at 2.999999999 triple nine minus 1.1 away from being 3. This is where This is where Leo Rush, that should have been three, like three repeatedly. This is where did he try to go for a frog splash? This is where Alex Abrahantes is like, yeah, like it was a nice try, but it was still three, like no matter how you see it. I mean, not two. It was two. You're like, it was still two, like no matter how what way you see it. This is where Leo Rush tried to go for a frog splash. He must have been no, I don't think it was double curse because he tried to go at first that it did not like even it was not even an attempt. So this was the first attempt. Like that ended up getting countered. Like this is where he gets belly-to-belly suplex by Commander K right into the upper left corner turnbuckles. Like when he was running towards him, this is where we got Commander K waiting for him to get right back up just a little bit so he could hit his finisher. And that was the going up on the top rope. Hits the moonsault, like the froggy moonsault, I guess you could say. Then we get a three, but this is where we get. This is where Leo Rush got the shoulder up at 2.999. This is where then he tried to go for another diving maneuver onto the man of the hour. I believe that was walking on the ropes moonsault Majiki maneuver. But this is where we got Leo Rush's foot moving right out of the way. This is where we got Commander K still was on his feet. This is where he didn't try to pick up Leo Rush to hit a standing finishing maneuver, but he ends up nearly getting cuttered by the man of the hour. But that's where he gets schoolboy into the surprise roll-up, nearly a three at 2.999. But this is where Leo Rush hits a spinning kick right to the head. Leo Rush then goes for that springboard stunner maneuver that he does, along with a frog splash. This is where then once he hits them with with that maneuver, he gets the 1, 2, 3 that way. Winner of this match, Leo Rush. The end. That was your AEW Rampage. And let me know in the comments. I'm giving it, like I said, like how I see it, and that was a 4-star show. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just some good matches. And just some pretty probably just nothing out of the ordinary weekly generic segments as well. Like if it's the WWE main event of AEW, I guess you could say. But they did advertise some matches and hype things up as well, like with Roderick Strong taking on Beast Mortos, and then House of Black taking on what's their names? The Iron Savages, which were after the match, I heard from a fellow YouTuber that told a little bit of a spoiler, like with Malachi Black announcing that the latest status of his AEW contract, which I'm not going to get into at this time. But yeah, let's just say it's good news for all Elite Wrestling about the status of Malachi Black and shutting down all the rumors to bed. And also, what we got, what matches we got on the card. We got Chris Statlander in action against a jobber, perhaps, or even somebody in the lower cards women's division, which that's going to be very unfortunate for whoever faces the born again Kristen. Again, give them all my apologies about about her. And also we got what else? What other match? Oh yeah, we got the trios tag match between the Death Riders, Kaito Castagnoli, the bastard Pac and Willa Yuta, taking on what's their names? Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly and Mark Briscoe. And who do you think is gonna win these matches, respectively? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. And also, we got Action Android against Jack Perry, the scapegoat that loved Crying People Rivers, in a TNT title open challenge match. And then, much more for you assassinators to expect on the latest episode of AEW Collision. So make sure to check that out next. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And what was your thoughts on AEW Rampage? Let me know in the comment section right down below. And also, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button if you like this video. Please make sure to smash the subscribe and the post notification bell as well for more SNA content. Again, make sure to check out Rampage. Not Rampage, Collision. Also with the wrestling news video, where we're going to be talking about the wildest and intriguing news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know from the Wrestling Inc. article. And that, like I said, that will be it for today, assassinators. And I hope y'all have a safe and fun Friday night. And I'll see you all in the next video with some more SA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye-bye, my